Welcome to the Catholic Journey with Deacon Pat Kearns. Today we step into a day most people rush past, a day with no gospel proclaimed, no consecration, no visible movement of God, a day where heaven seems quiet. This is Holy Saturday, and if we're honest, this might be the hardest day of all, because we know what to do with suffering. We know what to do with celebration, but silence? Silence unnerves us. Imagine it. The cross is no longer occupied. The crowds are gone. The noise of Good Friday has failed. There is no thunder now, no tearing of the temple veil, no final words echoing across the hill, just a sealed tomb, a heavy stone, and a question no one dares to say out loud. What now? The disciples are hiding. Peter, who swore loyalty, now sits in shame. John, who stood at the cross, now waits without answers. Mary Magdalene, her tears have not stopped. And the Blessed Mother, she waits, not with panic, not with despair, but with a silence so deep it holds on to God even when everything else is gone. And this is where it begins to mirror our lives. Because there are moments when God does not feel close. You pray, but nothing changes. You ask, but no answers come. You wait, and heaven seems still. And the temptation creeps in. Maybe God isn't listening. Maybe nothing is happening. Maybe this is the end. But Holy Saturday whispers something different. This is not absence. This is hiddenness. Because beneath the silence, something is unfolding. The Church teaches something mysterious, something powerful. On this day, Christ descends to the dead, not as a victim, but as a king. He enters the darkness humanity could never escape. He walks into the depths no light had reached, and there he calls out, Adam, Eve, Abraham, David, all who had waited, all who had hoped. He comes for them. Not loudly, not with spectacle, but with authority that breaks chains. The silence of earth was the sound of heaven reclaiming what was lost. And here's why this matters for you. Because right now in your life, there may be a tomb, something that feels sealed, heavy, final, a relationship, a struggle, a wound, maybe a prayer that feels buried. And everything in you wants movement, a sign, a breakthrough. But instead, you get silence. Holy Saturday teaches us God often does his most powerful work when we cannot see it. Not on the surface, but in the depths. Not in noise, but in stillness. Not in the obvious, but in the hidden. So the question becomes, how do we live when we are in between? Between prayer and answer, between loss and restoration, between Good Friday and Easter morning. We stay. We don't run. We don't numb the silence. We enter it. We sit in it. We let God meet us there. Because faith is not proven when everything makes sense. Faith is proven when nothing does. And maybe this is the hardest truth of all. Waiting is painful because it strips control. It forces trust. It exposes what we really believe about God. Do we trust Him only when we see Him working? Or do we trust Him even in the dark? The Blessed Mother gives us the answer. On Holy Saturday, she had no visible proof, but she had faith. She held on to the promise even when the world looked like it had ended. And here is the beauty. Holy Saturday does not stay silent forever. The stone will roll, the tomb will break open, light will pierce the darkness, but not yet. And that not yet, that space you may be living in right now, is sacred, because it is preparing something greater than you can imagine. So if today feels quiet, if your prayers feel unanswered, if your life feels stuck between what was and what should be, stay. Stay in the silence. Stay in the waiting. Stay in the faith. Because Holy Saturday is not the end. It is the hidden beginning of resurrection. This is the Catholic Journey with Deacon Pat, and if this spoke to you, share it with someone who may be living in their own Holy Saturday. And remember, even when God seems silent, He is never still. God bless you.